Hello and welcome to an educational video about screen printing by RhinoTech and Catspit Productions. I'm Jonathan from Catspit Productions. This is Greg Marcus from RhinoTech, and he's here today to show us about a very cool system for making stencils that doesn't require any chemicals or water, and it's called RhinoScreen. What can you tell us about it?
Well, this particular product was developed and introduced approximately 12 months ago. And we wanted to update our video and give us a little more information on how it works. But the key here is that it makes it so simple for a new screen printer getting into the industry, an existing printer, someone who wants to print 10 or 12 shirts fast. And the reason for that is that we eliminate film positives, we eliminate emulsion, capillary film, no exposure time, no processing time. A totally dry system.
So the most difficult part of screen printing, which is screen making, is basically simplified into a two-step process.
Correct. And so the first step is to take the image that you want to have on your screen, create it in a negative format. We're eliminating that positive, remember. So this is exactly what's going to go onto our screen.
Exactly. You got to remember, we use film positives in screen printing to make screens, but for this dry stencil system, the negative itself is actually going to end up making the stencil.
So we print this out on our image sheet, clearly marked on the back. Image sheet gets our image. We take this, we're actually going to heat press it with a transfer sheet. Now the transfer sheet is also marked. We're going to put it in at 270 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 seconds.
Okay, now Catspit did a video about this system previously, but we thought it would be very helpful to have Greg come in and tell us a lot more about the technical aspects of it. We get a lot of questions about it. One question I get about the dry stencil system is, can you print plastisol and water-based inks with it?
As a matter of fact, we've done tests where we've actually printed plastisol, water-based, and other inks.
Wow, okay.
Now, when this first beeps and it comes out, the first thing you want to do is you want to peel it.
It's a hot peel.
A hot peel. That's not 10 seconds after it comes up, it's when it comes out.
As soon as you open that press, peel it.
Exactly. So what you're going to end up with is that everywhere we had our black image, the white from our transfer sheet has transferred onto the toner.
It's basically an adhesive.
Correct.
That's going onto the toner.
Right.
And you can see now that the transfer, the stencil, you can see how it's ghosted and it's hazed, as opposed to when we first started, it was very black.
Correct.
So,
and that's got our bonding agent now to get onto that surface. So the next phase is we need to increase our temperature on our heat press up to 315 degrees. And we're going to then print it or heat press it for 30 seconds.
Wait a second. Now, we're going to actually put a screen in the heat press and press this to the screen mesh?
Absolutely.
That's kind of crazy, right?
So the thing is that when you look at mesh, it can easily take this kind of temperature.
Right.
We're not going to have a distortion in the mesh. We're not going to lose tension in the mesh. As long as you're using polyester mesh.
Right.
Don't pick up an old screen that happens to be nylon. Or silk that you may have from way back when.
Right, that would be really old.
But because that will melt.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So we're going to adjust the temperature and we'll be right back.
All right, so we're back. The heat press is heated up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're ready to continue the process.
Okay. So what we're going to do is take this polyester mesh screen, lay it over our heat press bed. It's important that you do have a heat press that has enough room behind here so that you can sneak that frame down in there.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
At that point, we're going to take our image that we created earlier, put it in position, and we're going to heat press this for 30 seconds. And that's at 315 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay, 315
degrees.
15, rather, I said 350, so it's 315.
That's correct.
And it's important to note that the temperatures are very critical. So you need to be very accurate with your temperatures, and that will help the process be a lot easier for you.
That's correct, as well as the fact that you want to have reasonable amount of pressure on your heat press when you put it down, both in that first step as well as in this particular step.
Okay.
Now, there we are.
We're set.
Okay, as you recall, now in the first one, we did a hot peel.
Right.
Okay, so the hot peel was for the first step. In this particular one, we want to do a cool peel. So this is going to take a couple of minutes to cool down, and it's going to be cool just to the touch. But as you can see, that's our image. You can actually feel it, that it's embedded into the polyester mesh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you sure can. If you go up, you can feel as soon as you hit the toner area, you can feel that it's
right.
in there.
So once this cools down, we're just going to peel off the paper. At that point, you come in, block it out with tape, block out, and you're ready to print.
All right, well, let's let it cool off a little bit, and then we'll be right back. We'll peel it off and show you what it looks like.
Sounds good.
All right, so we just waited a couple of minutes, and we let this cool off to the touch. It's nice and cool, and what do we do now?
So what I'm going to do is just press on the inside just a little bit, just so I can grab onto the paper and peel it back. All of our black toner has now been transferred onto the surface of the screen. We now have our stencil.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So you can see from the inkwell side, it's just like a stencil that you would have with any other emulsion system.
And again, this has been tested and used in production with plastisol ink, water-based ink, UV ink, and conventional solvent-based inks.
Okay, and what about cleanup? Like when you clean the ink off of here, what would you use? Can it handle a cleanup, and will it be usable again?
Yeah, I mean, we've done many tests. We've seen it in production where people do, well, using press wash, just to do an on-press clean. Take the ink out, store it like you would another screen. You know, it's a return customer, repeat customer.
Right.
But the other part of it is now to remove the stencil, we're not using a stencil remover, we're actually using a high pressure cleaner.
Wow, so we don't need to buy any emulsion removers or anything.
That's correct. What you're going to want to do is take that high pressure cleaner after you've removed the tape or washed off your emulsion, or the filler. At that point, you push it from the squeegee side or the well side, because we're going to push it back out on the side that we actually mounted it.
All right, well, that is the dry stencil system RhinoScreen from RhinoTech, and that's pretty cool.
It's about as easy as you can get. No film, no emulsion, no capillary film, no exposure, no water.
Yeah, forget about the you-do.
Exactly.
All right, very cool. I really like this system. Thanks a lot to RhinoTech and Greg Marcus. We really appreciate you coming here
it's great to be
with us today and doing a video with Catspit Productions. And for all you out there, we really appreciate your time. Thanks a lot for watching.
Thank you.